I am making peanut butter balls, and I'm just gonna start cranking through several different varieties, okay? Now, first one is, I'm gonna make buckeyes. So just regular peanut butter ball buckeyes. Now, I have my peanut butter and my butter, and now I'm going to put in my powdered sugar. Okay, now we're going to add vanilla, and thank you, Laura, my wonderful viewer. She sent me this vanilla bean paste. I have never used this before except until she sent it to me. So I'm testing it in all my recipes, so thank you, Laura. It smells really good. Paste. All right, here we go. Now we're gonna mix all this up. This recipe is in our Dining at a Dime cookbook, volume 1, on page 336 and 337 was my Aunt Donnie's recipe, but this is Grandma's recipe card, or Mom's recipe card. All right, so now I'm gonna do a little taste test just to see what the vanilla tastes like. Ooh, that's a lot. Oh, that is very delicious. Thank you, Laura. This stuff is darn tootin' good. Okay, so the first one we're going to make is buckeyes. Okay, so let me get my pan set up. Now, you do not have to line your pan. I do just because people seem to like to do that nowadays, but Aunt Donnie didn't. I'm just taking my little melon baller, and I am scooping out all of my little buckeyes here. All right, then the next thing we're gonna do is I got my soap making gloves. Now I do the gloves just because it seems to roll a lot smoother if you have the gloves on. Then they just roll really nicely along that plastic there. All right, got my buckeyes here, all rolled. Now I'm gonna throw these in the freezer. Now my aunt just goes ahead and dips them like this, but I put them in the freezer because I think they're a little bit easier to handle. Put these in my freezer. Get all my bananas down. Okay, so we're gonna let these freeze, and then we will dip them in chocolate. My buckeyes are done. So I got this nice little candy melter here. Now I got mine at the thrift store, but you can, I'll link it down. Now, I like mine a little bit thinner. That's pretty thick. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna add a little bit of shortening, a tablespoon or so, and let this get all mixed in and melted a little bit thinner. So here's how you make a buckeye. Now I tip it. You don't have to tip it, but you just go partly down, and then there you go. Oops, sorry, I'm used to making peanut butter balls and I forgot I'm making buckeyes since I'm not from Ohio. These are not a candy that I make. I make peanut butter balls, and I know that there is a large difference between a buckeye and a peanut butter ball because the way you dip matters. Oh, that needs to be a new saying for Tara. The way you dip matters. All right, there's my buckeyes. So we are going to let this sit up. Now I don't know what they do with the little hole there. I guess they just go in and fix it, I suppose. I don't know. How do you guys do the little holes on the buckeyes? Because that is slightly disturbing to have a hole in every one of your peanut butter balls. Okay. There we go. Now we're gonna let these set up in the freezer. They may not even need to be in the freezer. These may set up actually pretty quick, but I'm gonna put them in the freezer for just a minute and then we'll come back and taste test to see if a buckeye is any different than a peanut butter ball. All right, we have our buckeyes. Now, Aunt Donnie's peanut butter balls are the best, but we'll see if Aunt Donnie's peanut butter balls turned into buckeyes are just as good. Okay, here we go. These are so darn tootin' delicious, it's not even funny. I still think Aunt Donnie's peanut butter balls are slightly better than Buckeyes. I'm only kidding, guys. It's the same exact recipe. These are really good. Gotta love it. 10 out of 10, yet again. I had a small gap in filming. I had to go live for my other show, so a few of these have disappeared, but to store these Buckeyes, just put them in a bag or on a plate. Store them in the freezer up to several months, 6 months, or a couple of weeks in the refrigerator. I was asked, can you use crunchy peanut butter for your peanut butter balls? Yes, you can. I mean, you would just have the nuts in there. So if you like crunchy instead of smooth, you can go ahead and use your crunchy peanut butter for your peanut butter balls. All right, my next batch of peanut butter balls is gonna be Rice Krispie peanut butter balls. I had never heard this until my original peanut butter ball recipe went viral and everyone informed me that Rice Krispie peanut butter balls is actually a thing. So I did not know that. All right, got my peanut butter here and my butter that has softened and been sitting out on the counter. And I've got my powdered sugar here. And my wonderful vanilla. Thank you, Laura. Gotta get every little bit of this stuff out. All right. Then we're going to mix this all up. Okay, so the next thing is Rice Krispie. I did not look to see how much people put in there. So I'll find an exact recipe and put their measurement in, but I'm gonna take a gander at 2 cups. Let's see, or a few more. The nice thing about candy making is if you're not doing anything on the stove, it's not an exact science, so no need to get your knickers in a knot if I go a tablespoon or 2 over or under. Okay. So let's get this all mixed in. Hopefully 2 cups isn't too much. But this just seems really weird to me. I don't know why people would do this, but hey, I had so many comments I had to try it because everybody's like, you gotta try this, you gotta try this. Okay, so here's my Rice Krispie peanut butter balls. Let me get my tray. Then we're gonna scoop these out. Okay, since I don't like dipping all these, I'm gonna make this into a fudge. I'm just gonna make enough to show what they look like as Rice Krispie peanut butter balls. So I've got my gloves on because it makes it easier to roll them. All right, we're gonna go put these in the freezer and let them freeze before we dip them. Okay, let's see. Maybe I can stick them without smushing them. I think. Maybe. All right, here's part of my butter for candy videos. And here's the rest of my butter for candy videos, for everybody wondering. Yes, I do stock up on butter. Okay, I have my Rice Krispie peanut butter balls here. And I am going to just use my little candy dipping tool here. My viewer, a viewer sent this to me. And I thought that was just so nice of her. And it works really, really well. So if you want, you can use a toothpick. You don't have to use this, but as many candy videos as I do, I like using this for all of my dipping stuff. And this pot, oh my goodness, if you do a lot of candy videos, go for it. I got this one for $1 at the thrift store, but I will leave a link in the description for a new one. This really has made my candy dipping so much easier because it keeps it warm so that you're not having to re-microwave and re-microwave and re-microwave, and the cold candies don't cool down your chocolate. So that's what's really nice about it. Okay, I'm gonna get all these dipped and then I will show you what they look like. All right, we're gonna let these set up. Then we will cut them open and show you what they look like. Okay, I've got my Rice Krispie peanut butter balls here. Everybody said these are the best. So I'm gonna take their word for it. Use my heavy duty knife here since I've been told my knife wasn't big enough before. Rice Krispie peanut butter balls. Okay, I've never had this before. Oh, I see why people like it. It did not make sense to me. It makes sense to me now. Very delicious. All right, to store these Rice Krispie peanut butter balls, all I do is now, if you want, you could use Christmas paper plates and put them in here and just drag the whole thing out on Christmas. But what Aunt Donnie did was she just kept them in a container or in a plastic bag in the freezer or the refrigerator. Then you are ready for Christmas. You can freeze for probably 6 months I've had them, or you can refrigerate it around 2 weeks. I purposely left part of this, not only because I hate dipping stuff, but I wanted to show you how to make like a fudge type cookie bar out of this. So, oops, oh dear. All right, so first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to melt a half a package of chocolate chips and a half container of sweetened condensed milk. Okay. All right, I'm gonna, that was a little bit more than a half a thing of sweetened condensed milk. Okay, there. All right, so we're gonna melt this in the microwave first. Okay, get this all stirred up. All that yummy goodness. Woo! Okay, so now going to take my parchment. This was the smaller one. Okay, so then what I'm going to do is I'm going to put a little layer on the bottom. Now, you don't have to do the sweetened condensed milk. The sweetened condensed milk just makes like a fudgy bottom. And right now I am doing the 75 Fudges Marathon So I thought I would add this one in there. I was trying to get to 100 this year. It ain't gonna happen. I tried. I got 75. Okay, so now I'm gonna take my peanut butter, crumble it all around, just so I don't move my chocolate too much. Okay, then I'm just gonna push it all in, just like so. Oh, yum. Oh, the weather outside is frightful, but the butter is so delightful. Since we have peanut butter cups to make, bring more chocolate, bring more chocolate, bring more chocolate. Oh my goodness. Okay, here we go. Spread a little bit all over. Spread all this on top. We're gonna put it back in the fridge and let it set up. Now, if you want, you can sprinkle the top with some peanuts. That would be yummy. If you want to do that for some decorations. Okay, there we go. All right, we're gonna put this in the fridge, let it set up, and then we will come back and cut our peanut butter fudge bars. Got my Rice Krispie peanut butter bar candies. All right, since I don't have a big enough knife, I'm gonna use this one. I don't know if my son thinks this will be big enough. Do you think this is big enough? Think I need a bigger one? He's nodding his head that I need a bigger knife. I agree. Okay, so all right, here's a corner piece. Okay, I doubted the Rice Krispies, guys, but these are really darn tootin' good. Yum. That is a keeper. All right, if you want to store these for Christmas, just put them on a plate and in a zip top bag and store them in the refrigerator or freezer, and then just pull them out and let them defrost for Christmas. The next peanut butter ball I'm going to make is the same recipe, but several people said that they used graham crackers. I have never heard of this before. Okay, so I'm going to put in, let's say, a cup for the whole batch. And since this is a half batch, I'm gonna do a half a cup. And I am going to stir that in. This seems like a very odd combination to me, so I don't know, but we'll give it a try. Several viewers recommended it, so must do something. Okay, so what I'm going to do is make my little peanut butter balls again. I really don't like rolling and dipping peanut butter balls. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna leave this last little bit and I'm gonna show you how to make a fudge out of it. For those of you who are lazy like me and don't like, those of you who do not have the same amount of energy as a normal person, you don't have to, or for those of you who are trying to conserve your energy, how does that sound? Show you an easier way to do it aside from rolling each individual ball here. All right, so now I'm gonna throw these in the freezer. My graham cracker peanut butter balls here. Now, I had these in the freezer and then I took them out and I had to go do the live show for my other channel, so they got defrosted. Oops, but that's okay. Tara just adapts and overcomes and just moves on with the show. So I'm gonna get all these dipped up. All right, I've got all of my peanut butter balls dipped. So now if you don't like the holes in the top, what you can do is just take your spoon with a little bit of extra chocolate and go along the top. Just like so. And then we're gonna put these in the fridge and let them set up. Now I'll show you what they look like. All right, I got them set up. Now, I was told I do not have a big enough knife, so maybe this knife will work. And I am going to cut this baby in half. Oh, yum. Graham cracker peanut butter balls. Can't go wrong with that. That is really good. All right, to store these graham cracker peanut butter balls, just put them in a freezer bag or zip top bag and store them in the refrigerator for 2 weeks, or in the refrigerator 2 weeks, or freezer for 6 months. Okay, I've got this cute little tin right here I got for $3 at the thrift store. So what I'm gonna do is melt my almond bark and put a layer on the bottom here. Okay, so I'm gonna stir every 30 seconds in the microwave. I got 2 minutes here, and so I'm just gonna stir it up. Okay, so then I'm gonna coat the bottom of my tin and probably the sides too. I don't know how this is gonna work because usually I use a square pan, but I'm just trying it to see what happens. Okay, so I'm gonna put this in the freezer and let it set up, and then we'll put our filling in. So I got this all set up, so now I'm going to put the rest of the filling in here. And just push it down just like so. So if you want to do the whole batch just in a square container, you can, like I did in my one video. Okay, so now I'm gonna smash it all in there really nice. Okay, probably not really nice. Details are not my strong suit. Okay. Kind of get all that cleared off, get it pushed in there. Okay, and then I have my chocolate melting for my peanut butter balls that I'm making, and oops, and I'm gonna do a nice little coating on top, and we're gonna let this set up. And then we'll unmold it and see what happens. I don't know. We'll see if this works. It may or may not work in this little container. I don't know. I've never used it for this, so it'll be interesting to see what happens. All right, we've got my little cute little pan here. Now let's see if it's going to release from the pan. I don't know if it's going to release. Oh, it is. Oops. I missed some spots of chocolate. But actually, let's It's not too bad. Okay, so let's clean up the top a little bit. And then let's just take our spoon and fill in a little bit here. So I probably should have done 2 layers of chocolate, but that's okay. All right, then I'm gonna let this set up and then we'll come and unmold it and cut it. Okay, all right, gonna let this set up and then we'll come back and unmold it. See if we can get the bottom off. Can we get the bottom off? Oh dear, I hope so. Because this would be pretty darn tootin' cool if it'll work. No, is it not gonna work? The bottom's sticky. Oh, shoot. That would have been so cute. Yeah, it's really stuck. Oh well. We'll just eat it with a spoon. Can you use almond butter for your peanut butter balls? I don't know. There are people who say they don't like peanut butter or can't eat peanuts, and so they were wondering if it could be done with almonds. So what I'm gonna do is I am going to take some almond butter and see if it will work. I have no idea. Here's a little tip, guys. Use a shelf liner to get a grip on your cans. Okay, so I don't know if this is gonna work or not, but we'll see. So I've got my butter in there, and then I'm gonna do my cup of almond butter. I mean, I really don't know why this wouldn't work. It should. Okay. And then I've got some vanilla. And my powdered sugar. And I am going to mix this all up. Well, I was gonna scoop it, but maybe I should taste this. So this almond butter has no sugar, salt, or anything added. And you know what? I think it needs salt probably. Yeah. Okay, so let me add the salt and see if that helps it taste any better. Go. So the consistency is right. I mean, I don't know why this wouldn't work, but all right, normally I use gloves, but I'm in a hurry today, so I'm just going to go ahead and roll these up. You can roll them in your hands. I just find the gloves work just a bit easier. All right, then we will put these in the freezer But I think you can put them in the freezer, but I think I'm gonna try and just dip them right now and see what happens. Okay. Whoa. What is, oh dear. Okay. Well, that was a disaster almost. Okay, so take one and dip it. Yep, that should work. On that one that had a little. Okay, then just go over and fill up all the holes. All right, let these set up and then we will taste test almond. Okay, I'm going to have one that I forgot to shake off, so I'm gonna give this one a try and see what almond tastes like. It's pretty good. I will say I like peanut butter a whole lot better, but if you can't eat peanuts, this is definitely a good alternative. Hi, I'm Tara Kellum from livingonadime.com. This is my son David, and today we're going to be making the best gift you can make for a teenage boy. Every time I've made this for a teenage boy, they have absolutely loved it. It's a giant peanut butter cup. The recipe comes from our Living on a Dime cookbook, page 266. So if you have our cookbook, you can find it in here real easy. It's known as peanut butter cups or peanut butter balls. And we're just gonna make it into one great big peanut butter cup instead of little ones today. Exactly.
Yay!
Okay, so this is just a 6-ingredient recipe. It's really simple and it doesn't even take but 5-10 minutes to put together. So I started off by putting in 2 cups of powdered sugar, confectioner's sugar, depending on which part of the country you live in. And then we're gonna put in 1 cup of peanut butter.
Whoa, that's really thick. It's like really...
And I did not get a fresh measuring cup. I used the same measuring cup for my powdered sugar and my peanut butter. That's good. Just leave the spoon in there. And then it's 1 teaspoon of vanilla, but of course, I'm just guessing. These caps are approximately a 1/2 teaspoon, so I just do 2 caps and pour it in there. And a 1/2 cup of butter or margarine. And we'll throw all this together in here. And whoops. And David is going to mix it together. And as you will see, we only have 1 beater. My mixer broke, but we happen to be in the middle of a blizzard right now. And I'm not about to go down to the store to get a new mixer. And at Living on a Dime, we keep saying make do with what you have. So that's what we're gonna do. So hopefully we can get this mixed. All right, go for it.
So do I just do it on
Yep.
all the way? Okay.
Nope, start off low. Okay, that's pretty good. Okay,
Whoa.
just shake off the mixer. Okay, now, I'll tell you, I do this all the time, but if you're doing this with kids, don't do it. I just put my mixer in and just hold it just above the goop and turn it on and it flings off everything, and then I don't have to pound and pound to get it off. But make sure the adult's doing that. Okay, now you can see it's all pretty mixed together. Just a couple of little pieces are left. Now, that's the filling. I just buy this candy coating at the store that comes in the little things, and now they even make it so it's in a microwavable tray, and I already pre-microwaved it. This is like so cool. I didn't know that they did this until this year. So I've been spending all this time microwaving it. But if you don't have the little trays or you want to use chocolate chips or something instead, this is the candy coating, but you can use chocolate chips just as easy. And what I do is I melt it in a double boiler. And all a double boiler is boiling water in a pan with a metal bowl, and you just start letting letting it melt. And you can see mine's melting here. I just had it on low. But, and of course we won't use the coughed on chocolate. But then you just let it sit over your water until it melts and just keep stirring it, and then you can use it that way. That's what a double boiler is. It's not anything fancy or impressive. That's all it is. It's just a metal bowl on top of a regular pan with boiling water. Okay, so now to make your great big peanut butter cup. This is just a regular pie tin. It works best if you have the kind that has the big edges because it holds better. I line it with some foil, just like this. Okay, Dave, my trusty assistant here. Okay, so we're gonna just line the inside of this with a little bit of chocolate. So just put a few spoonfuls. Okay, it's gonna need more than a few spoonfuls. Let's do this. There you go. Okay, so we're pouring about, I don't know, a third of the chocolate in there. Okay, wipe the edges so it's not dripping all over the place. Perfect.
There we go.
Okay, now he's spreading it around. Move the peanut butter out of the way.
Spreading it around the pan.
Spread.
Woo.
And you can just kind of go like this and
But you have to do it really slowly or else it'll like not do anything.
make a big mess if you dump it all over the counter.
Yeah.
Okay, and then we're gonna pull it up on the edges like this. Ta-da.
Be careful. There.
And just get it all around the edges like that. And then you don't want your chocolate, you want your chocolate slightly cooled because it makes it easier to spread it. Sorry, we're all sick around here as usual. So that's what it looks like. We're gonna take a 3-minute break and pop this in the freezer.
Look at the majestic coating in its natural habitat. It's freezing.
Okay, so it's really outside because our freezer's full and we didn't have any room. So we have it outside because it's about, maybe
16 degrees.
What? Yeah, 16 degrees and it's snowing, and
No, it's more like 6 degrees. Let me go sit down.
so it'll get cold fast and get set up really quick, like 3 minutes, 4 minutes.
Yay.
Yay.
We're back from outside in the cold.
And it's all frozen. Okay, it's not really frozen, it's just set up. It took about 3 minutes, you think, Dave?
Probably.
Probably 3 minutes. Okay, so now Dave is going to spread the filling inside. Go ahead, Dave.
Woo.
Lop it in there. Go for it.
Isn't it going? It's not going.
Yeah, there.
Oh, there.
Big old blops.
Like huge big old blobs, not just like those little tiny ones.
See, I'm just mixing around, getting it all down.
I'm trying to get all the stuff out.
Okay, so now we got this all in here. Okay, that's good. Okay. And we smoothed it all around. And you want to make sure that there's more chocolate above the peanut butter so that you have room to add your chocolate. Then we're going to take the rest of the chocolate
Yay.
and let's see, here, I'll pour, you spread.
Okay, got it.
Okay, so pouring in the rest of the chocolate. Wow. Can you say delicious? And just so you know, for cost, the chocolate cost me $2.49.
Not that much.
Not that much. And the rest of the ingredients were approximately $1, give or take. Maybe less, maybe 50, 75 cents. I haven't broken it all down recently, but it's around between 50 cents and $1.
That's really cheap.
Then you just spread your chocolate all over until you get your peanut butter covered. Now it gets kind of hard when you get towards the end because you got to work quick because the rest of it is cool. You don't want your chocolate to set up too quick. So make it all fancified here, sort of.
Why don't you just smooth it down?
Okay. Now, we're going to go let this sit in the refrigerator for approximately 1 to 2 minutes while it gets frozen, or in our case, we're gonna set it outside because our freezer's full.
We're
Okay,
back.
we're back.
Woo!
Yay! Okay, so we put this in the freezer. It's all frozen up. I did, in between, touch up the chocolate in a couple of spots that we realized we didn't get covered. So here's the magic moment, we hope. You pull off your foil, and you have a humongous peanut butter cup.
Yummy.
So, how I present this is oops, here it is. I take and do 2 large pieces of foil. Then I set it on the middle and I wrap it over the top. Then I tuck in the sides. Let me get this foil out of the way. Okay, tuck that side, Dave.
You just
Yep.
squeeze
Push
it.
it down and squeeze.
Okay.
Push it down and squeeze. Push it down and squeeze.
Do the Reese's Pieces buttercup sheet.
And you have a great big peanut butter cup. I'm telling you, every teenage boy I've ever given this to has absolutely loved it. Right, Dave?
Yep.
That's right. So, we're going to put a great big bow on this, and we're going to give it to some lucky cousin for Christmas, or maybe one of my 3 sons, or 2 daughters, who knows. And we will see lots of happy faces for Christmas.
Wait. Can I say something?
Yes.
You need to like print off a big Reese's Pieces buttercup thing and then just
Put it over the top. Well, yeah, that would work too. So, this recipe is in Dining on a Dime Cookbook, page 266. Takes you about 5 minutes to make, 10 minutes with the wrapping if you do it really fancy like Dave was suggesting. And that's your $3 Christmas gift for any teenage boy.
yay!
Yay!
Bye!
Bye!
Okay, so this recipe's on page 266.
It's
right?
on
And the
266.
readers have been asking for a sneak peek of the
They
book,
have.
so there you go. All right, well, that's a sneak peek, and
You gotta
Hope
give
you
a
enjoy
bigger
it.
peek than that!
they said a sneak peek.
I know, but hello, we're trying to sell cookbooks
All right, well, here's some
here.
garden pasta too. That's a little longer peek. Okay, that's probably enough for now. You gotta look in the book. So.
So buy your own copy today. Bye! If you like this video, be sure to subscribe, like, share, and comment below.